What is going on, everybody? What's happening? This is your man, Big B, and this is Steelers Almighty, man. Thank you guys for joining. Again, Steelers Almighty, fastest growing Steelers channel here on YouTube. So appreciate everybody being here today, man. The roster is out. The roster is out. The 53 man came out a couple of hours ago. Yeah, man, it's look, couple of surprises, couple of spots where I didn't think guys would make it, couple of spots where I think somebody would make it. We're gonna go over all of that today, and kind of get your all's feedback, man. So I appreciate everybody being in here again, as always. Appreciate all the support that you guys have given us. Ways to control the conversation. Super chats are always wide open. Make sure that it always gets not only read on screen, but also to the front of the line, so you don't have to wait behind anybody if you send one of those in. Different ways to help support us. Again, like, follow, subscribe, and always comment. So appreciate all that, man. What is going on? Let's get after this. So first things first, the 53-man roster for the Steelers is out. No surprises at quarterback. Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Kyle Allen. I think everybody knew that, and that's fine. No surprises whatsoever. So, running back. Well, I had a surprise at running back. Najee Harris, Jaylen Warren, Cordell Patterson. No surprise there, but I'm surprised they didn't keep a fourth. And I'm surprised they didn't keep a fullback, if you want to label it that way. I was surprised. Jack Coletto. No Jack Coletto. And I guess you always keep a fourth. You'll keep a guy on the practice squad because you're going to need that. But we'll see. I don't know. That just surprised me a little bit that they didn't keep a fourth, even if he's just a special teams and maybe even a return guy. But I get it. You had other needs, other places, so I totally understand. Offensive line. Ryan McCollum, backup center. That says a lot to me. That says a lot. Look, yeah. I mean, that stinks. Again, it stinks for Nate Herbig to be out for the season, but you got to have a backup center. And Cook being on the IR, we'll see. I don't think it's season-ending IR, but that's why Ryan McCollum is literally on the roster, man. He's on the roster because we don't technically have a backup center. He's going to be that guy. Mason McCormick, Isaac Siamala, Spencer Anderson, James Daniels, Dan Moore Jr., Troy Fautanu, Broderick Jones, Zach Frazier. All makes sense. So, and yeah, my man Mark Collins said Ryan played well. He did, but he was going to be the odd man out. And unfortunately, injuries happened, but good for him, man. Football, like I said, is a game of injuries. Good for him. So he took advantage of his opportunities. We appreciate that. It's going to be, we'll see. Like I said, we hope guys don't go down to injury, but it is what it is. Yeah. Offensive line. I still believe, and this is just my belief, people, that if the Steelers can find a way to add an offensive tackle, I'm still under the belief that they're going to try to add an offensive tackle if they can. Or they must know that Fautanu's coming back for week 1, and maybe they don't need a guy. Your swing tackle is one of your starting tackles. That's crazy to me. But it is what it is. This is the way the Steelers are going for now. And I don't want anybody to confuse anything. This isn't this is the 53-man roster and nothing can change. The Steelers can make some changes to this thing. They just had to get down to 53 by 4 p.m. today. So there's changes and stuff that can still be made. They just had to get down to 53 today. So it's not set in stone week 1 that this is exactly what the roster is going to be. So trades, some other people getting cut. Steelers might want to make a move here or there. We'll see. Again, injury bug. We've had a little bit of that. Maybe we need to make some other moves. We'll see what happens. But as of right now, this is what we're looking like. Tight end. We kept 4. Pat Freiermuth, Mikael Pruitt. Now, that was a guy that I thought early in camp was going to get cut. I was wrong. I could admit when I'm wrong. Um, it's not that he wasn't a good player. I just thought they'd keep Jack Coletto, but they didn't. They basically were keeping H back. So Darnell Washington, Connor Hayward, they're on the football team. So Mikel Pruitt, and my thing is, or McCole Pruitt, you kind of thought that he was going to be on the team because the Arthur Smith guy comes over, he knows the offense, knows what he's doing, is a good blocker, something that we know Freiermuth struggles to do from time to time. Um, so yeah, 4 tight ends. It's not often, but I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Now here's where it became tricky. 5 wide receivers. Sometimes teams keep 6. Most of the time it's 5. I said yesterday that Scotty Miller had the edge over Dez Fitzpatrick, and I was proven correct because he's on the roster and Dez Fitzpatrick is not. Calvin Austin III, Van Jefferson, Scotty Miller, George Pickens, Roman Wilson. So, yeah, those are the 5. How do you feel about it? Let's get in the chat a little bit. This is a good place to take a quick break. We've gone through the offense. How do you guys feel about that wide receiver depth? Like, what's your thought? Are you feeling good about that wide receiver room right now, the way that it looks? Or, there's not really anybody out there. I'll be honest. Alvin Robinson got cut today. What are you going to go get him? Sterling Shepard got cut yesterday. What are you going to go get him? Like, none of those guys move the needle for us at all. When are you going to try to go sign Michael Thomas? Yeah, I don't think you need to go sign him. So I just don't think there's necessarily a need to do that right now. Again, give up on any trade. Nobody's trading anybody right now. The roster's set. How do you guys feel about the wide receiver room? I don't know. It is what it is. I do know that. I know we don't have a whole lot to worry about or think about. The wide receiver room is just, it is what it is, man. So nothing to brag about, nothing to complain about. We're going to roll with what we got. Let's see what my man Jake says. He says, I feel like we should try to get younger that just got released. Get a younger guy that just got released. For what position? Like, what position are you wanting to get younger at? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure where you're trying to get younger. I mean, the wide receiver room's pretty young. Tight end room, offensive line. I mean, for what I just named outside of the quarterback, I feel like the Steelers are pretty young, So, wide receivers, you're wanting to get younger? How do you – Calvin Austin, 3rd year. Van Jefferson is 28. Scotty Miller, Pickens, 23. Roman Wilson's a rookie. How do you get younger than that? I'm with you, Jake. I understand what you're saying, but yeah, it's not going to get you. Getting younger doesn't do anything. That's not going to help. Getting better would do something, but not getting younger. I guess I don't understand that. So, Green Brat, they're trying to get 2 wide receivers. So, I don't know. I don't know what that means. So, my man Mike Clayton says, I know Deontay was a headache, but we should have let him play his last year. It's easier to find corners. It is not easier to find corners in the National Football League than it is wide receivers. That is an absolute false statement. No, it is not. It is much easier to find a wide receiver than it is a corner. Now, I'm not saying it's easier to find a guy with the skill set of Deontay Johnson, but to find viable corners in the National Football League, it is a million times easier to go find a wide receiver than it is a cornerback. A million times easier to find that. But he was a headache. Look, I agree, though. Unless the players just went to Tomlin and said, we got to get his ass out of here, I think you stick with Deontay Johnson. I don't think there was a reason to get rid of him unless the players had just had enough. Unless they had had enough. but that's just me. So that's just me. And the only wide receiver, I guess, that's out there, like, I don't know, Michael Thomas. Do you want Michael Thomas? Yeah, I don't think we don't need a Michael Thomas. Juju didn't want to come back. He went to the Chiefs. This is what we got, people. This is what we got. We just got to roll with it. We just got to roll with it. So that's all. We just got to roll with it. Let's see. My man says, especially the Steelers' recent history of drafting cornerbacks. Yeah, there's no way that getting cornerbacks is easier than wide receivers. That's never been the case in the National Football League. Even when they didn't throw the ball a lot, it was still easier to find a wide receiver. Just simple. What else we got here? What else are you guys thinking? I saw a flash that Steelers was trying to get 2 more wide receivers, and they might be. They might be. They might be trying to get it. I haven't heard that they were out there trying to get any wide receivers. But hell, we spent all offseason trying to trade for Brandon Ayuk. So who the hell knows? We turned into the side piece of the San Francisco 49ers, the Brandon Ayuk and Brandon Ayuk's agent. We turned into their side piece. And turns out he has no intention of leaving. Had never had any intention of leaving. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's see. Boop, 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 boop. MLB stopping the run. I just don't trust Queen yet. I mean, Queen was a second-team All-Pro. Look, I get what everybody says. Well, he was only good because he played next to Roquan Smith. Well, somebody had to make the plays, though. Like, you can say, hey, this guy made you a better player. Okay, but don't you have to still have to tackle? Don't you still have to do that? Don't you still have to cover guys? And again, All-Pro is not like Pro Bowls where they hand them out like candy at Halloween. It is not the same thing. And the man was a second-team All-Pro. People still had to tackle. Like Patrick Queen, you can't, oh man, he was a second-team All-Pro, but he missed a ton of tackles. Well, then why was he a second-team All-Pro? Because tackles were there to be made, and he made them. Not saying he never missed a tackle, but Mike Singletary missed a tackle too. Ray Lewis missed a tackle too. I get what you're saying. Maybe you don't trust him, but what's not to trust? He was pretty good last year. And he was pretty good. So let's not go that route yet. Let's not go that route yet. So let's go over the defense. Let's see what we got here for the defense. So defense, I mean, again, a surprise. For me, a huge surprise. DeMarvin Leal, Keanu Benton, Martravius Adams, Cam Hayward, Logan Lee, I thought was a practice squad guy, but he made it. Good for him. And then Isaiah Loudermilk. I thought no damn way. But he's on the squad. Good for him. Dean Lowry, I know he was going to make it. And then Larry O just had a tremendous bounce back. I like it. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I didn't think Loudermilk was going to be on the team. I didn't think he was going to make the team. I thought this was an area the Steelers keep maybe 7 defensive linemen and they add somebody at another position, but they wanted the 8. Okay. Yeah, hey, it is what it is. I didn't see a whole lot from Loudermilk that screamed, oh, we got to keep this guy. But maybe the Steelers saw something. Clearly, they saw something that I didn't see. That's why they're the coaches and I'm a fan. It is what it is. Linebackers, Herbig. Now, we only kept 5. Herbig, Highsmith, or actually, we kept 6. No, we kept more than that. What am I looking at? We kept 8 because we're counting outside linebackers. We only kept 3 middle linebackers or outside linebackers. Geez, get it together, B. Nate Herbig, okay, Alex Highsmith, TJ Watt on the outside. So we kept 3 on the outside. So, and they're going to use Leal as part of their outside linebacker package. He's going to be the 4th guy to play outside linebacker. I actually like that. He looked okay. A lot of people thought Kyron Johnson. Man, Kyron Johnson, if you just watch the last 2 preseason games, He was quick off the ball, explosive off the ball. However, when they ran the ball at him, it was almost like he wasn't on the football field. He's too little to stand up against the run. You can't have that, man. So you can't have that. So yes, DeMarvin Leal made the team. Matter of fact, not only did Leal make the team, Leal is going to be the fourth outside linebacker when that rotation hits. He's going to be that guy. He played that well in this offseason to be able to be that guy. So, let's see here. Then let's go over the list. Nick Herbig, Alex Highsmith, obviously TJ Watt, Tyler Matakevich, I guess, as a middle linebacker. I know he's a special teams guy, I guess. Patrick Queen and Landon Roberts. Mark Robinson had an outstanding spring. Peyton Wilson. So we'll see. And as quiet as it's kept, they might even use Peyton Wilson as an outside linebacker in the rotation too. I mentioned that earlier because he did a ton of that at NC State, rushing from the outside edge. He did a ton of that. So he might even be a guy that gets used. I mentioned that early in the summer. We didn't see a lot of that in preseason, but look for some of that during the regular season to get him out there because his athleticism off the edge, it just can't. I mean, we got to get him on the field. We got to be able to get him on the field. Cornerbacks. Now, here's the one. Dante Jackson, Joey Porter Jr., Darius Rush, Corey Trice Jr., who just played outstanding, and our man, Beanie Bishop. Our main man, Beanie Bishop, made the team, man. I am overjoyed. I thought it was over for Beanie Bishop. I'll be honest. He looked like he won the job. Then he didn't play great. He didn't play horrible, but he didn't play great in the first preseason game. Then got hurt. Two guys that looked like passed him up on the depth chart. I'm like, oh my God, he's not going to make it. But yeah, man, absolutely. I will take Beanie Bishop all day, every day. So I will take him all day, every day. It's a good story. It's a good story. So it's a great story, actually. It's a great story. I like undrafted rookie, went to school, went to college fairly close to the area at West Virginia. Good for Beanie Bishop, man. Good for Beanie Bishop. Then at the safety, Deshaun Elliott, Jalen Elliott, which I didn't know that he was going to be in the mix, but good for him. Mika Fitzpatrick, DeMonte KZ, and Miles Killebrew, special teamer, because he's never going to play on the defensive side. If Miles Killebrew is playing safety for us, we got problems. We got problems because that's just not his job. Out best in the league at what he does, but playing safety is not one of those things. But that's okay. That's okay. Then we got Boswell, Kuntz, and finally a punter, Cameron Johnston. We finally got a punter that doesn't look like me that can actually kick a football. Good for them. So let's see. Questions here, statements here. My main man, Capricorn Steel, says, I think we're going shopping for another outside linebacker. We might. I think they thought they found their guy with Marcus Golden, but I think Marcus Golden, I don't know if he really wanted to play. Clearly he didn't. He retired, but he may have come into camp and the Steelers were like, hey, man, we're not going to cut you. We're going to let you retire. You are not ready to play football. And maybe they're going to tell him, take a month, go get in shape. We'll bring you back. If you're in shape and you want to play, okay, we'll take a look at you then. But right now, you can't play National Football League football. You just can't play in the league yet. So we'll see if that's the case. So yeah, I'm just Loudermilk. I don't know. Like I said, he's on the team, so I want him to do well. But I watched the preseason just like you guys. He flashed a couple times in pass protection, but when it came to run stuffing, which is mainly his job, it didn't look good. Didn't look good at all. Didn't look good at all. So it is what it is, man. So it is what it is. DeMonte KZ, he's okay. I mean, he's not great, Hopefully, he learns how to tackle without using his head so he doesn't get suspended. Jiminy Christmas, but we'll see. So we will see. No, we're not going to pick up. It's a good question by my man Mike Clayton. Picking up Terrell Edmond for depth? No, no reason. No reason at all. I think we've had our fill of him. And apparently so have a lot of teams. They've had their fill. So we're going to move on from there. So what do you guys like? What do you like? What do you dislike? I'll go first. I don't like the fact that Jack Colletto's not on the football team. And maybe he will be eventually. Like I said, the roster's not set in stone. I don't like not having a fullback, a real fullback. And maybe he couldn't play special teams. I think he could, though. So, but I don't know. I think you got to have that guy on your football team. I think he does a lot. I get that other guys can, like, McCole Pruitt and Connor Hayward are your H-back type of guys. But then it's like, well, then why did you bring Coletto in? Like, what's the point of bringing a fullback in if you're not going to use him? Maybe he's a camp body. I don't know. Maybe that's what they use him for, is a camp body. So, when you're trying to run power plays and stuff like that, you're not banging up the guys that are going to be on your 53-man roster. That might be the case. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. So, my man Jake Russell, let's see what you got to say here, my man. Love Corey Trice and Beanie Bishop making the 53. Yeah. I figured Corey Trice would make it because he would have made it last year and would have played a lot had he not gotten hurt. But Beanie Bishop was the one I was rooting for. Y'all know that. Y'all know I've been rooting for Beanie Bishop. And I literally said it yesterday. I thought it was all over but the shouting for our man Beanie. I'm like, yeah, he's not going to make it. It is what it is. But lo and behold, he did. Good for him. Now he's just got to hold on. So now he's just got to hold on. So we'll see. We'll see. That and Loudermilk. Look, I'm not going to bash the guys now that they're on our football team. So I didn't see a lot out of the preseason from him. Steelers did. He's on the football team. It's time to go. Now it's just time to go. You know what I'm saying? We got to go. And again, it's not set in stone. It's not set in stone. We're almost 2 full weeks out from our first game. So everything is not set in stone yet. Still room to maneuver. Just had to get down to 53. So again, as always, man, thank you guys for joining. We appreciate you. Steelers Almighty, fastest growing Steelers channel on YouTube. That's because of you guys. We appreciate it. Remember to follow, like, comment, all that good stuff, and subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. Super chats are wide open if you want to go to the front of the line and make sure you get all your information, your question, your statement, whatever, put up on the screen, and a way for you to control the conversation. So let's see here. Talking about my man Corey Trice, man, I've been praying for him a year to not get hurt. Yeah. I think we're going to be surprised by Trice. I think all of us are going to be surprised at how good he is. Yeah, I think we're going to be surprised at how good he is, And I don't know that he's necessarily a slot corner. I don't know that he is. But if he can do it, we got something. Or maybe we bump, Dante Jackson, inside. Maybe we do that. I don't know. But Dante got to get healthy. It sounds like he's getting there. Pickens raves about him, though. He raves about how good of a cornerback that he actually is. So I know people were talking about the trade with Carolina with Deontay Johnson. I think it makes sense. You gotta have corners. You gotta have corners. And in an Arthur Smith offense, you don't have to have 2 dynamite wide receivers. You need one, and then you need other guys that can just do the job. And we've got some guys that can do the job. So it's too bad Roman Wilson got hurt because I think he was on his way to being that guy. Hopefully Van Jefferson has a bounce back in his career. So we will see. So hopefully we will see. What else do we got, man? What else do we got? The linebacker room. I'm okay with the line. Or better, what do you guys think is the best position of all the positions, quarterback all the way down to safeties? What do you guys, and leave it in the comments, what do you guys believe is our best position group? What's the best position group? Is it tight ends? Is it offensive line? Is it running backs? I kind of think it's running back. I think that's what the best position is running back. Is it cornerback? Is it safety? I think it's either running back or safety. Outside linebacker, I guess technically if you separate out the linebackers, then outside linebacker would be it. I got them all grouped together, but if you separate them out, then clearly it's outside linebacker. Okay, that would, so it just depends on how you want to classify it. So if we're classifying it as outside linebackers, then yeah, that's clearly number one. But then it's running back and then safety, in my opinion. In my opinion. So, but yeah, it's just, we'll see what happens. Y'all think, how many sacks y'all think TJ Watt ends up with this year? How many do you think? And be realistic. Don't somebody get on here and say 35 sacks. Come on. How many do we think? So, do guys think, here's an interesting comment. Do you guys think that Trice is better than JPJ? I mean, look, the facts are this. Corey Trice Jr., when you were just talking about his draft grade and his technique and ability, graded out better than JPJ. The difference was the injury history, which is a real thing. You can be as good as you want, but if you can't stay healthy, you can't help us. So, but just talking about his technique and his ability, it graded out better, man. Just saying. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I mean, it's just the truth. It's just the truth. JPJ, I think, has got to become a better tackler. Yeah, he's got to be a better tackler. Better tackler. Stop grabbing as much. All of that good stuff. So we'll see. We'll see. But let me see. My man Capricorn coming through with another super chat. We love you, my man. I take linebackers as a whole as the best group B. Appreciate the show. Thank you, man. We appreciate you and love you. Thank you for coming through again, man, with another super chat. We appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, if you take linebackers, even if you have Patrick Queen, I mean, just think about linebackers. Don't separate it out. You got TJ Watt, Patrick Queen, Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig. Yeah, that's probably the best. That's probably the best. Then I do believe it's running back. And then after running back, I think it's safety. Those are the three top position groups that I think the Steelers have. Linebackers, running back, and then safety. I think people are going to be surprised at how good Deshaun Elliott is, too. He'll be able to play some slot corner for us as well. Bring KZ in to take his spot at safety. We'll go to a 3 safety look. Yeah, I like that. I like it a lot. So, but again, man, we appreciate you, Capricorn. Thank you very much, man. So, here's a question. Brian, who do you think will be the surprise player for the Steelers this season? Corey Trice Jr. Corey Trice Jr. I think that's going to be the surprise. Look, depending on Dante Jackson and how he plays, he might end up starting. Who knows? I think he's that good. I think he is that good. I think he's going to be the surprise guy. Everybody knows that Nick Herbig is going to be good. He's not really a surprise. Everybody knows Peyton Wilson, not a surprise. Nobody's really counting or talking that much about Corey Trice. Think he's going to be the surprise guy. I really do. Great question, man. Great question. So I think it's Corey Trice. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. So I hate that Ryan Watts is out. Yeah, that was one, man. Y'all know that I was rooting for Ryan Watts. I had said it so many times that I was a Ryan Watts guy, And for him to get hurt that way and then be out for the season, man, it must be, first of all, it must be way worse. But yeah, I hate that Ryan Watts is going to miss the year. I hate it because I was rooting for him and I thought he could help us. But, it's football, man. It's football. So it stinks. Bones break, ligaments tear. That's just the way football works. Unfortunately, that is the way that football works, man. So I am sorry, man. I'm going to have to cut this one short today. I appreciate all of you all out there. Thank you all again for joining. Remember, as always, we got our podcast that comes out on Wednesdays. You guys got to remember to call in, man. Y'all got to call in and leave your statement. Don't care what you guys sound like on the phone. Call and leave a message. 412-444-8390. Write it down. 412-444-8390. Leave your name, leave your email, where you're calling from, and leave your YouTube user. We will put you on the podcast, listen to what you have to say, and respond to it, man. So make sure you guys call in. I appreciate it. And thank you guys. Like I said, we got to shut this one down early today. Appreciate everybody being here. Podcast should come out tomorrow. We'll see about all of that. And then the next thing, we'll go from there. We're getting closer to game time, people. We're getting closer to game time. The countdown is here. I just got my new mini fridge for upstairs. I got my new mini fridge. I got a new mini fridge. I got a portable ice maker. I may not see my wife all weekend because I'm a football fanatic. So when the games start next Thursday, NFL games anyway, I may not come down. I'll see you. I'll see you on Monday. I'll see you Monday. I'm just going to stay all weekend up here. I got food. I got beverages. I got bathroom. I got a shower, TV. What else do I need? So, all right, man. I appreciate you guys. I will holler at you. Love you guys. Again, thanks for the support. Thanks for coming out. Again, like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. I will holler at you soon.